Okay. Good afternoon, student of class 12. Today, I will take a practical class of your syllabus. Since the offline class is not possible, so a video will be sent to your YouTube channel about the practical class of chemistry practical class of class 12. Today, I will discuss about the detection of functional group, organic functional group. In your class 12 syllabus of chemistry practical, there is mainly the 4 questions. One is volumetric analysis that you have done in the class 11, that is redox titration of potassium permanganate and oxalic acid or potassium permanganate and more salt. This is one experiment and that carry 8 marks. In the second experiment is the salt analysis that also you have learned in class 11. You have given one inorganic salt which contain one cation and one anion. You have to detect the cation and anion present in the given salt. That carries 7 marks. 8 marks. Another experiment, that is the third experiment, is either organic functional group detection. In your syllabus, there is mainly the 4 functional group. One is alcohol, another is aldehyde, third one ketone, and fourth one carboxylic acid. Besides this, the phenolic OH group and amine group is also present. But in the last 5 years of board exam, that is conducted in our school, out of 4 functional group, you have to detect any one of the functional group: alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, and carboxylic acid. Or there is an option, or you can do the chemical kinetics, that is measurement of the rate of the reaction between sodium thiosulfate and hydrochloric acid. Any one choice. Most of the students choose the organic functional group because it is very easier. It carries 6 marks. So 8 plus 8 plus 6, that is 22 marks. Another 4 marks is your project file, 2 marks is the viva, and 2 marks is the laboratory notebook. This is the total 30 marks. Now today I will show you that functional group tests of mainly 4 groups. First alcohol, then aldehyde, then ketone, then carboxylic acid. Now alcohol, you know the general formula of alcohol, ROH. There is 3 important tests for alcohol. In the experiment column, if you have book, there will be no problem. In the experiment column, you will write take 1 cc alcohol. Take 1 cc alcohol in a test tube. 1 cc means you know that a test tube contains roughly 20 cc. So you take 1 cc alcohol in a test tube. You take this alcohol, ethanol, and add ceric ammonium nitrate. Cerium, you know, atomic number 58, a lanthanide element. Ceric ammonium nitrate. If you add ceric ammonium nitrate to the 1 cc alcohol, here this is almost yellow color. You add ceric ammonium nitrate, it becomes red color. The red color confirms the presence of OH group. So this is the first test for alcohol, very important, detection of OH group. Then you first take in a test tube 1 cc alcohol, then you add ceric ammonium nitrate. See this is yellow color, but this is red color. If you increase the concentration of the ceric ammonium nitrate, the red color becomes deeper. So this is the first test for alcohol. So in the experiment column, you will write take 1 cc ethyl given sample, liquid sample, add few drops ceric ammonium nitrate. In the observation column, you will write appearance of red color. In the inference column, you will write the presence of OH group. Presence of OH group. So this is the one test for alcohol. Another test for alcohol is you know this is the iodoform test. You already listened in the theoretical book that among primary alcohol, only the ethanol gives the iodoform test. Why? Because ethanol on oxidation gives acetaldehyde or ethanol which have a ketomethyl group. So it gives iodoform test. What is the iodoform test? You first take 1 cc alcohol. Then you take iodine solution. Here you remember that how will you prepare iodine solution? Iodine solution can be prepared by two ways. Iodine normally covalent molecule, so it can be prepared by dissolving in ethanol. But in the laboratory we prepare iodine, we add some crystal of iodine and in water, then add potassium iodide salt. Potassium iodide Ki first reacts with iodine to form Ki3, a complex which is soluble in water. This is the iodine, violet color iodine solution. You add iodine solution to the ethanol. Then you add sodium hydroxide drop by drop. Until the violet color discharge. When violet color discharge, say a yellow precipitate is formed. You see this, the solution become turbid due to formation of yellow precipitate. If you heat the solution in a hot water bath, then the crystal of iodoform is liberated. This is the test for iodoform for ethanol. You take 1 cc alcohol in a test tube, then you add some iodine solution. But when you add the sodium hydroxide solution, you should be cautious. You add drop by drop sodium hydroxide solution and shake the solution until the violet color discharge. When the violet color discharge, you will observe the solution become turbid. See this, the solution become turbid due to formation of solid iodoform CHI3. But don't add excess NaOH. If you add excess NaOH, then the turbidity disappears. Then precipitate should not form. If you heat the solution on a water bath, then a crystal of fine yellow crystal of iodoform is formed. Already here iodoform is produced because solution become turbid, means some insoluble precipitate is formed. So this is another test for alcohol. The third test of alcohol is the esterification test. You know what is esterification test? In esterification test, you take sodium, you take ethyl alcohol and then acetic acid. You take ethyl alcohol and acetic acid, and then you add concentrated sulfuric acid slowly from the walls of the container and heat in a water bath. Concentrated sulfuric acid from the walls of the container and heat in a water bath. I collect the sulfuric acid from the container. Here is the sulfuric acid. Now you take ethanol in the test tube. Small amount of ethanol is taken in the test tube. This is a ethanol. Small amount of ethanol is taken in the test tube. Then you add equal amount of acetic acid. Then you add few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. This is a concentrated sulfuric acid. You add few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid from the walls of the test tube. Now you take some paper. And cover the mouth of the test tube in this way. This now heat the solution on the water bath for few minutes. So first you take ethyl alcohol in a test tube, you add acetic acid, then you add few drops concentrated sulfuric acid, you cover the mouth of the test tube with a paper, then you heat on a water bath. After the heating of the water bath, you take a beaker containing water. So you take a 100 ml beaker or 250 ml beaker containing water, and you open the mouth of the test tube, add the solution that is heated ester into the beaker, and observe the smell. A fruity smell is obtained. That is the test for alcohol. So what is the procedure? First you take ethyl alcohol in a test tube. Say you have given a liquid sample, maybe ethyl alcohol are given, because in the laboratory methyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol is not permissible because they are highly poisonous. Now you add acetic acid and few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. You cover the mouth of the test tube with a paper, heat on a water bath, and after heating on some 4 or 5 minutes on water bath, you pour the solution into the beaker containing water and observe the smell. A fruity smell confirms the presence of alcohol. So these are the 3 main tests for ethyl alcohol. First is steric ammonium nitrate test. With the help of steric ammonium nitrate test, a red color is obtained, then alcohol group is present. Second test is the iodoform test. You take ethyl alcohol, add iodine solution, then sodium hydroxide drop by drop until a yellow precipitate is obtained, that is a violet color discharge. Heat the solution on a water bath. You have know how the water bath is produced. In a burner, a beaker containing water is placed on the top burner, and you insert the test tube. Say this is the beaker, hot water is taken, it is placed over burner by the tripod stand, and the liquid test tube is taken in this way. The heat boil the water and the test tube will be hot. This is for water bath. We simply prepare water bath by placing the beaker containing water on the tripod stand over burner. So third test is esterification test. For esterification test, you take alcohol in a test tube, add acetic acid and few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid, cover the mouth with the paper and heat on a water bath. Then pour the solution on a beaker containing water and observe the smell. If fruity smell appears, then it is ethyl alcohol. So this is the test for alcohol. So alcohol have 3 important tests. Now the second functional group, that is the acetaldehyde. That is aldehyde group. Acetaldehyde. Now when you have given the liquid sample, you first take observe the smell. Alcohol has a very sweet smell, ethyl alcohol. Acetaldehyde or acetone have a characteristics odor, very pungent and characteristics odor. So you must observe the smell so that you can preliminarily identify which functional group may be present in your liquid sample. If it is acetic acid, then vinegar-like smell. So you first observe the smell. Now you take acetic acid in a test tube. Test for aldehyde group. All types of aldehyde have characteristics odor. Now you take first test for aldehyde. You take some small amount of say 1 cc sample in a test tube. Then you add Schiff's reagent. This is the Schiff's reagent. Schiff's reagent, if aldehyde group is present, then it turns pink. Schiff's reagent turns the aldehyde group into pink color. Say this is the pink color is obtained, you know this color. So if by adding the Schiff's reagent, if the color become pink, then it is the aldehyde group. So this is one test. You take the sample in a test tube, add 1 or 2 drops of Schiff's reagent. If pink color appears, then it is the aldehyde group. So this is the first test for aldehyde. Now in the second test for aldehyde, you know that aldehyde gives Fehling solution test and Tollens reagent test. First we test the Tollens reagent test. What is the Tollens reagent test? Tollens reagent is the ammonical silver nitrate solution. Tollens reagent is ammonical silver nitrate solution. First you take small amount of liquid sample, say acetaldehyde. You take small amount of liquid sample, say acetaldehyde. Take this in this very small amount. Now you add Tollens reagent. This is the Tollens reagent, very costly material. 100 ml costs almost 3000. You add few drops of Tollens reagent. Tollens reagent, you add this and then heat on a water bath. Say this is the water is taken, place on the beaker and heat on water bath few minutes for in this way. After few minutes, now today the gas burner is not operating. In the next video, I will show the gas by heating on the water bath. This how the silver mirror precipitate is obtained. If you heat the Tollens reagent and aldehyde solution in a water bath for 5 to 10 minutes, you will observe that the whole the test tube becomes silvery color. Because a silver mirror precipitate is formed at the surface of the test tube. So this is the test for aldehyde group, Tollens reagent test. So in a test tube you take some ethanol, some acetaldehyde, add few drops of Tollens reagent and heat on a water bath for few minutes. A silver mirror precipitate confirms the presence of aldehyde group. In the next test of the aldehyde group by the Fehling solution. Here, how will we prepare the Fehling solution? You know that Fehling solution is a mixture of Fehling solution A and Fehling solution B. What is Fehling solution A? Fehling solution A is the alkaline copper sulfate solution. And what is Fehling solution B? Fehling solution B is the sodium potassium tartrate. These two solutions are mixed in equal proportion to form Fehling solution. First we take Fehling solution B. Say we take Fehling solution B 2 ml. We take Fehling solution B for 2 ml. Then we add Fehling solution A, another 2 ml. Then that will be equal volume. Fehling solution A in another 2 ml. This is the Fehling solution. Blue color. The color is changed. This is the Fehling solution. We first prepare the Fehling solution, but don't worry. In the final exam or board exam, the Fehling solution will be prepared by teacher or lab assistants. So you have given the Fehling solution. Now in a test tube, you take some aldehyde. In a test tube, you take some aldehyde. And then you add Fehling solution. This Fehling solution is added. Fehling solution is added. Then heat the solution. This Fehling solution and aldehyde, it heat the solution on a water bath. You take the water bath on the beaker and heat the solution. This in the next class I will show the effect of heat on the Fehling solution and Tollens reagent. When you heat the solution, a brick red precipitate is formed. A brick red precipitate is formed on the surface. Why the brick red precipitate is formed? This is due to formation of cuprous oxide. You know the Fehling solution is the alkaline copper sulfate, that is CuSO4. The valency of copper is +2. When you add aldehyde group, the cupric oxide oxidizes aldehyde to acid and itself reduced to cuprous oxide. The red precipitate is due to formation of cuprous oxide. So these are the three important tests for aldehyde. One is the Tollens reagent test, another is the Fehling solution test, another is the Schiff's reagent test. So this test confirm the presence of aldehyde group. Now test for carbonyl group. The carbonyl group test can be obtained by adding 2,4-DNP solution. What is 2,4-DNP solution? this is 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine solution. How will you prepare it? I will show you how we prepare the 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine solution. Okay student, this is 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. You have already learned about this compound in your aldehyde and ketone chapter. It gives a red or white precipitate. It gives a red or white precipitate with aldehyde or ketone. With aldehyde or ketone, it gives a red or white precipitate. Say we take 2,4-phenyl dinitrogen in a solid sample, but you don't dissolve it in water. You always dissolve it in alcohol. You dissolve it in alcohol, it is soluble in ethyl alcohol. So this is the 2,4-DNP reagent. This 2,4-DNP reagent, when added to aldehyde or ketone, it gives a red precipitate or orange precipitate. You take the aldehyde or ketone, say you take acetone. This group cannot confirm, this test cannot confirm whether it is aldehyde or ketone, but it confirms the presence of carbonyl group, CO group. Say you take some acetone. This is acetone. You know acetone has very low boiling point, very volatile liquid, and you add this 2,4-DNP reagent, 2,4-dinitrophenyl reagent. Yes, sir. Then you add some ethanol, or ethanol already added. Now if you heat the solution on a water bath for few minutes, the red or orange crystal is formed at the bottom of the solution. It is very difficult to prepare form the precipitate. You have to prepare the saturated solution of 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. Then you add the ethanol, aldehyde or ketone sample to the DNP reagent. A orange or blue, orange or yellow or red type precipitate is formed. This is the test for carbonyl group. Okay. Now another test. So these are the tests for aldehyde group. So in the aldehyde group, you write the 4 reaction, 4 tests. One test is the Schiff reagent test. Another test is the Fehling solution test. And the third test is the Torrance reagent test. And fourth one is the 2,4-DNP test. These are the 4 tests for aldehyde group. The next is the test for keto group. For keto group, there is 2 important tests. One is sodium nitroprusside test, another is metadiene